me explain something of magnitude for this channel. Okay, so what do you have to recognize? Through this video is about why Cartoon Network is contributing a lot in my 30s. First off, what happened to Cartoon Network in my 30s? We had regulation, we had literally people saying this and that literally about the animation company, and taking the channel off the network, saying that I'm still in trouble. There's a lot of things that happened to Cartoon Network at my 30. Literally where it came to actual goals, I met them through at 30. I actually asked you want me to fall back on a cartoon at 31? You are not fooling me with this bullshit. And I'm on Runo saying he expects it to come to 31 where he expects to 35. In early 2021 with Nokia, literally, I thought I was going to be him at 34, a temptation wearing beard. Because how media is, slash how people know it is in the hood. Now, another, contribution, to why I have, so much of an even trade, as they say in the saying so, but not in real life. Which is connected to racism, or that cause effect, that girl literally you got that wasn't compared to a whole relationship like how it should be, which is why you treat the criticism and flipped it on them. I'm gonna hit you 1,000 times, twice your own weight, literally. You want to be mature, literally, that has nothing to do with being mature because that has context. And that's where gangster gets his shit from. You're telling me, literally, that I am the wielder, I am the caster, and I'm mature enough to carry the object, and you're putting me up against my own weight. But seriously, what was monotonous was not just, the lack of me going homeless at 30, compared to most, but for like most death and live quality, which is Haruka Sensei, by the way, but the fact that this happened. I got this at 30. I'm telling you, my Cartoon Network was complete. The worst part about it wasn't just the group home is the only thing working, but the fact that I had external, conversations lately to why, people would let me watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX when I was younger, but I can, fall back into more, educator theory that I was not interested. And that's why it's so hard to beat me at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Club. Literally, I play up GX, but I know everything about Zexo. I have XYZs. And I remember a fake biker, back in the days. This is so fucking real. Literally, the tree cut it in half, literally, to where I said, literally, God in the universe, literally, after you said a fake Michael from Safeway. Why don't you play the real Michael? You know versus I know how to cheat. And that was the truth, literally. I played off, XYZs in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Club all the way to the point where you can summon Link monsters, which is why it's mandatory for requirement. First, XYZ, and then Links. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains got took it off, literally, when Isaiah was watching it. Ever since then, we haven't had a real Yu-Gi-Oh! But that's one of my, competencies, in my head, I was good, in a Yu-Gi-Oh! That was up to date and coming. And when I turned it off, it was in Japan. But anyway, let's talk about the pain I got for, Okutami Trozilla. Literally, what contributes to why I'm not an idiot, like everybody else, for why nothing went my way. The whole time I've been trying to tell this goddamn domestic violence crew, literally, is that nothing big is happening. You're not paying for your own trips, you're not doing this, and that. You're not taking your kids to Disneyland, but more aside of that, literally, it's even worse, literally. When they're dead, they can fuck you up in the studio if they score high. Literally, if they do everything like Anthony's murder, this, and that, they can have extra privileges to the point you can't go places. And it is an increase by autistic kid in the hood can still counter. So I'm like, what the fuck, you got hit me with Hitman? Literally, He-Man already told you I was on a whole other level of arithmetic. Literally, after the last video, I get asked a stupid question by the same person, martial arts black person and big dicks. They're about to diss the children and set off their alarm. And the science behind that, the science why, it's such an even trade, why I know so much about basketball, Gob, Mystic, Daniel Cole, why I'm so good with fucking Runo, Lily, why it's my cause and effect. He knows too much on the government. His personal needs are met. And I always just fight that shit with family. I always fight that shit with something extraordinary, like I can't use my movies, I can't see my AB HD, I can't do this, and that. I always fight that shit with what's extraordinary. And I did watch your plea, and guess what happened? Something happened to my skateboard. But the opening, I'm telling you, this is immaturity when it comes to my own weight being flipped. Other people prepare for what their family's going to say, get permission to be in the studio, Lily, and don't get to have, the even train like me. When I do Jasmine, now let's get to the biggest fucking twist. Literally, how, multiple opens Lily are called off their plan one day, and how they're doing this, and that, Lily, and the reason why I'm scoring hella high, Lily, and the misconception you have, Lily, is where it dragged on. Who cares if I'm as strong as the wave, versus, the actual 200 where you lift up, and what's crazy about that? I can push it forward, I can curl it, with my core, but I can't lift it up. Which is called out street principle, literally, when you're in a street gang fight. And what I do with Uncle Tommy is I used to hope black woman run line. And what that happens, literally, is that forwards into mental health, literally. When other people literally get mental health stamps in the fucking studio, get their car taken away from them saying, I want you to truly fight your uncle, then all that shit happens. When they did way worse in school, literally. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that shit was gonna drag on, literally. And it was only gonna be because it dragged on to a point where it makes you feel like a little ass kid. Literally, you can't do this, and that. And then I checked, the amendment. My mom didn't have me until she was 35. So, literally, there's still, room there. There's a lot of room. the Indian job, all that shit's happening, Lily. But guess what, Lily? You are, Pussy's running gag on Cartoon Network, Lily. From where the Aaron Rose stage, with people like Aaron who take over the fucking move to the fucking Amaterasu and shit. I was waiting for cartoons being defining, especially with that Lisa shit. Lisa may be dead, but the worst part of it all, Lily, when you put me, Lily, in the hood and you challenge me, guess what happened, Lily? When you try to push the running gag on Cartoon Network, guess what I was hanging out with 24/7, Daniela. You pushed the running gag that my life is a cartoon when I had Daniela, and I spammed Daniela in the hood. And then it turned out to 3 long years it dragged out with you being gay. So something more ferociously happened this year. First off, I recognized I had to look at the group home and over the score. So guess what happened, Lily, when she sent that text message that you're retarded, Lily? Guess what Yu-Gi-Oh! Was watching? Not Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, not Brains, but guess what? Zexo. And Zexo is the one that gets the original something, the one that's intermediate or advanced in Yu-Gi-Oh! Club. And when I played Zexo, everything went back together, Lily. That one deck, Lily, that I freestyled with that day, that came from Zexo. Because it was crazy. People were walking up and down from Chaotic, everything expanded from Ryan Cobera. Which is what I'm holding against you. There were people literally jumping 3 times, Lily, whether it was Camp Lazo, whether it was an anime I was watching, Lily, everything reciprocated. See, I'm in the board of education, and everything is being rewarded, whether it's Moving the Rock, whether it's a reality television show, it's all being rewarded, but there's something, real about this. There's a girl I didn't like, and she was black, fat with a twitching eye. She's the reason why we had the whole hot cocoa thing in junior high. What happened in Sterling was her and Kimmy fucked the shit out of me over and over again when I originally didn't like her. And guess what? I thought I was socially awkward, this and that. These are girls that helped me get through my mom. I mean, shit, before Alpha Omega, Lily, there was a girl named Dee Dee, Lily. After me and Rob just got done with the movies, the first one not faced James. And that's how big the understand was. But yeah, anyway, like I said, besides me being black, everything on Cartoon Network has been rewarded this year. And, big revelations happened. You keep on double applying that everybody is worse. I'm like, you know what, whatever. Because it's a catch-22. Literally, you saw how, Law and Order, especially for my last video, was on the outside. So every time I get made fun of as Bop and Weeb, I get rewarded by Rudo. But I'm learning more every day that Fisker of Star Wars gay shit. And guess what, literally, it came from me, literally getting fucked up, by Fred Gibson. Literally, Tommy, chop your legs in fucking half. To me, blowing up the world, to automatically partying with my girls, the one that's supposed to be Chidori Sour, Dory Honda. Let's get to that, Lily. Why did I do all this, what I can do, what I can't do, before I got in the hood? Because I wanted to put out the Demon arc when it was good, where you could play off Lily, just shifting heat on and Cosmos, versus, Shikamaru. And I couldn't, Lily, I had all this bag of leakers, like, guess what happened to my girls? Guess what happened to everybody? Lily, they fucked around their toys, Lily, they stacked up a whole bunch of crime, and now it's their time in the hood. That was their time, to push their mother on a wheelchair. Lily, they have no resources or anything, they try to sort of fit in. So that running gag literally almost got me if I didn't carcass shit, at 3-0. To tell me, stop having perspective outside what the meat is telling you. In reality, I know I'm best in the world. But as far as Cartoon Network goes, literally, you literally saw it. Literally, at 29, they had the cards, at 30, they crumbled. Like, for example, if I had a mainstream class and regular ed, the homework would motivate me to do better. When Mr. Pledger played that game where he was all like, you better pass drama, why do you think that we hire special ed kids for electives first? Knowing that literally the media would suit my high, literally he's like, I'm not rewarding you, He-Man. So literally ask Omar, why isn't Eris in the regular class? Omar can keep him competitive. Omar, Eris wasn't put in the mainstream classes for social reasons, not actual smart reasons. There's a lot of things that you have to do in this video, like how we survived that strong black African generic for way too long at 30. They literally have the whole thing, literally they have the Carmina dance. Yeah, free, we have all characters being expressed. We have literally the dream year that's in your head. At the time, we are not making money. When you use the whole Black Room and run line, that means literally the fault that made you get no emphasis on the studio. You have no people saying, oh, this is that, you're a celebrity, literally didn't get charged in the studio. It was just another African play out. Now, where it came to Mr. Pleasure, he gave me the ultimate lesson with women. Literally, it started off when I got a free freak dance from Alyssa Zapata all the way back in 7th grade. She grinded on me, but I think it was as hard as 2 Twin Towers. That was with no outfit, no hair gel. I simply asked her to dance. What ended up happening, was for Mr. Pleasure, really, when it came to the school dance, we were following along, for classical polka dance. He led the way, and I did my own thing every single time, really. Then Mr. Pleasure told me I was the worst. He's like, that is your problem with women. I thought about it poetically because her sister is an actual gay, Lily, and she became the leader of Platinum Girls, and Alyssa herself could have became one. That's how I was thinking before, information. If I went back in time in order to talk to our brother, well, hey, I'm making the Platinum Girls, Lily, he wouldn't accept it. A lot of lines in between this video, you know, where it comes to even Aaron, Lily. You say how, oh, I don't fuck with Aaron, this, and that. Let me tell you something, Lily. What I know about Rick is, Lily, what your auntie did, what your dad did, what your uncle did in order to get coochie, in order to get, you know, big grand things in life. Because if somebody gave you the same information as me, your body will push harder in order to, you know, make a fight scene, you know, like breed up in etc. Aaron is the original, you know, liker of Full Metal Alchemist. And he's, you know, the dying, you know, of an anime fan generation. Whenever I text him, it's not just red, it's everything, every single time. But truly, the message behind this video is why is the best year of my life that provides everything revolves around invisibility and still yelling. And that's not good for a Cartoon Network girl. Literally, all this, you know, drinking suicide shit going on like Fridays, it's not good. I was gonna, you know, upload my favorite team today, but, you know, it was an emergency. And believe it or not, this video is rushed because I wanted a more prominent, you know, figure to be out at the beginning of the video, but I couldn't. I'm not getting the gist of it, so let's get to the ARL, you know, why I did, you know, evolve, but why evolving is, you know, closer to a pedophile. Because I did, you know, take, you know, intensely, what I would do, literally, is I would work on my punchlines here, you know, working my flow a little bit, you know, here and there, you know, sometimes I would add aggression, you know, let's add some complexity to my bars, but never, you know, training, you know, that's intense, like basketball practice or football practice, and thus Kaguya was born. It was pretty straightforward. Literally, I was the best guy in the reality show, and when I got on the street, I started dancing with the girls, you know. That's another principle. I thought I was going to be content with the child, though. Instantly, when I got to the hood, I worked hard. And worked hard for all 3 years. Hey, the contract between Grimm and Billy and Mandy isn't also, you know, theme for this video, huh? Anyway, when I watch anime, it's all about basics, like who's connected to Dragon Ball Z, who fights who, really, who goes out with who, the revelation. 3 people showdown. Well, as far as when my brother watches, you know, anime, he knows that there's a war going on, and he connects the war to actual history.